95% of that. This huge smile from Janine, just a celebration of this wonderful, wonderful young girl. And I think the superhero, you could see it translating through every part of her life, so I think it's wonderful that we're back here celebrating it. And I think a lot of us can, probably most of us in the room with the young kids, picture our kids have similar pictures, so I think it's what hits most of us really, really tough. And we can celebrate a life, and that there were people there to really embrace you with Rogers House. And so this is the time when we kind of come together and do what it is that Janine and Dean and Hannah want us to do, and that's to help keep other families also having these experiences there. And so the funds that are raised are going to help because they continue to give back other families that are going through the type of things that are happening at Rogers House. There's a lot of events that the mayor gets to go to as well, and it's interesting when he is able to know that one is going to affect a lot of people and he wants to be involved. And so I would like to take this opportunity to read a letter that the mayor has sent for Janine and Dean and Hannah tonight. So he says, good evening on behalf of the mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of members of Ottawa City Council, it is my distinct pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you assembled here tonight for the 7th annual Maddy's Gala in support of Rogers House. I want to acknowledge Dean, Janine, and Hannah, who suffered through the tragic loss of their dear Maddy and resolved to celebrate her life by organizing an annual fundraising campaign in her memory to benefit other young palliative care patients and their families staying and receiving care at Rogers House. Now in its 7th year, Maddy's Gala is recognized as an important charitable event in our community, which to date has successfully raised over $250,000 for Rogers House, a valuable support, community resource, and hospice for children where they can also be close to their loved ones and spend precious time with family members. Since 2008, the Otto family, their friends, supporters have come together in many ways, even as Maddy's heroes, to collect pledges and participate in the walk, roll, and run for Rogers House in our community. As head of council, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate everyone who has come together this evening to pay tribute to Maddy's legacy and to demonstrate their unqualified support for the important services provided by Rogers House in our city. Allow me to convey my best wishes to the Gala participants and sponsors for yet another very successful fundraising activity and an entertaining night in support of Rogers House and in honor of Maddy. And that is sincerely from Jim Watson, your mayor of the City of Ottawa. So, who wanted to be here this evening? All right, this is my fun part. This is when I get to tell you guys that you're going to raise money. And so we are going to do that by spending a lot on all of the auction items that have been provided by generous people here in the room, communities, businesses. There's a great selection. So I'm going to tell you to bid and to bid often throughout the evening, and we'll continue to do that. Jeff Hopper, my wonderful co-host and great friend, is here this evening. He is stepping in for Stuntman Stu, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but who is now become Sochi Stu and is at the Olympic Games. So he was really encouraging to Jeff, and Jeff is looking forward to hosting your auction tonight. Just a couple of reminders. We do have a Jason Spezza signed jersey that's going to value itself at $500 and above, depending on what happens with his career. It could be priceless. Rockcliffe Flying Club, a 45-minute flight sightseeing tour of Ottawa for 3 people, is in there as well. 2 tickets for the Sens versus the Predators. That game is happening on March 30th, but you got great seats in section 101. You have Starbucks. I don't know, I'm completely addicted. So you got a couple of pounds of coffee and a travel mug coming from Starbucks. An Astronaut's Guide to Life, been signed by Chris Hadfield. I know people waited hours on end to be able to get that book and to get it signed. He's a fascinating man, so the book's a great read. A cheese tray with bottles of wine is also up for grabs, and 2 premium bottles of wine. We will not be doing the draws, by the way, until all of the raffle bracelets have been sold. So I'm just telling you now, I don't mind standing up here and keep it going, but I know it's a very generous room. So once all of the bracelets have been sold, that is when we will do the draw for all of the prizing as well. There are some wonderful volunteers here as well from the Sens Foundation. They will be coming around to the tables to be able to sell you the lanyards and to kind of get your names and your tickets. Tickets are $20 for 1 or 3 for $50, so keep that in mind.